Hi, it's Beth. Welcome to 2 Kings 22:11. When the king heard the words of the book of the law, he tore his clothes. Reading the Bible to you in a year. Today we are in Genesis chapters 23 to 25. The span of Sarah's life was 127 years. She died in Kiriath Arba, now Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And Abraham proceeded to mourn and weep for her. Then he left the side of his deceased wife and addressed the Hittites. Although I am a resident alien among you, sell me from your holdings a burial place that I may bury my deceased wife. The Hittites answered Abraham, Please, sir, listen to us. You are a mighty leader among us. Bury your dead in the choicest of our burial sites. None of us would deny you his burial ground for the burial of your dead. Abraham, however, proceeded to bow low before the people of the land, the Hittites, and said to them, If you will allow me room for burial of my dead, listen to me. Intercede for me with Ephron, son of Zohar, so that he will sell me the cave of Machpelah that he owns. It is at the edge of his field. Let him sell it to me in your presence at its full price for a burial place. Now Ephron was sitting with the Hittites. So Ephron the Hittite replied to Abraham in the hearing of the Hittites, all who entered the gate of his city, Please, sir, listen to me. I give you both the field and the cave in it, in the presence of my people. I give it to you. Bury your dead. But Abraham, after bowing low before the people of the land, addressed Ephron in the hearing of these men. If only you would please listen to me. I will pay you for the price of the field. Accept it from me, that I may bury my dead there. Ephron replied to Abraham, Please, sir, listen to me. A piece of land worth 400 shekels of silver? What is that between you and me? Bury your dead. Abraham accepted Ephron's terms. He weighed out to him the silver that Ephron had stipulated in the hearing of the Hittites, 400 shekels of silver at the current market value. Thus Ephron's field in Machpelah, facing Mamre, together with its cave and all the trees anywhere within its limits, was conveyed to Abraham by purchase in the presence of the Hittites, all who entered the gate of Ephron's city. After this, Abraham buried his wife Sarah in the cave of the field of Machpelah, facing Mamre, now Hebron, in the land of Canaan. Thus the field with its cave was transferred from the Hittites to Abraham as a burial place. Abraham was old, having seen many days, and the Lord had blessed him in every way. Abraham said to his senior servant of his household, who had charge of all his possessions, Put your hand under my thigh, and I will make you swear by the Lord, the God of heaven and the God of earth, that you will not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites among whom I live, but that you will go to my own land and to my relatives to get a wife for my son Isaac. The servant asked him, What if a woman is unwilling to follow me to this land? Should I then take your son back to the land from which you came? Abraham told him, Never take my son back there for any reason. The Lord, the God of heaven, who took me from my father's house and the land of my relatives, and who confirmed by oath the promise he made to me, I will give this land to your descendants. He will send an angel before you, and you will get a wife for my son there. If the woman is unwilling to follow you, you will be released from this oath to me. But never take my son back there. So the servant put his hand under the thigh of his master Abraham and swore to him concerning this matter. The servant then took 10 of his master's camels, and bearing all kinds of gifts from his master, he made his way to the city of Nahor in Aram Naharaim. Near evening, at the time when the women go out to draw water, he made the camels kneel by the well outside of the city. Then he said, Lord, God of my master Abraham, let it turn out favorably for me today, and thus deal graciously with my master Abraham. While I stand here at the spring, and the daughters of the townspeople are coming out to draw water, if I say to a young woman, Please lower your jug that I may drink, and she answers, Drink, and I will water your camels too, then she is the one whom you have decided upon for your servant Isaac. In this way, I will know that you have dealt graciously with my master. He had scarcely finished speaking when Rebekah, who was born to Bethuel, son of Milcah, and the wife of Abraham's brother Nahor, came out with a jug on her shoulder. The young woman was very beautiful, a virgin, untouched by man. She went down to the spring and filled her jug. As she came up, the servant ran toward her and said, Please give me a sip of water from your jug. Drink, sir, she replied. And quickly lowering the jug into her hand, she gave him a drink. When she had finished giving him a drink, she said, I will draw water for your camels too, until they have finished drinking. With that, she quickly emptied her jug into the trough and ran back to the well. to draw more water, until she had drawn enough for all of the camels. The man watched her the whole time, silently waiting to learn whether or not the Lord had made his journey successful. When the camels had finished drinking, the man took out a gold nose ring weighing half a shekel and 2 gold bracelets weighing 10 shekels for her wrists. Then he asked her, "Whose daughter are you? Tell me, please. And is there a place in your father's house for us to spend the night?" She answered, "I am the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Milcah, whom she bore to Nahor. We have plenty of straw and fodder," she added, "and also a place to spend the night." The man then knelt and bowed down to the Lord, saying, "Blessed be the Lord, the God of my master Abraham, who has not let his kindness and fidelity toward my master fail. As for me, the Lord has led me straight to the house of my master's brother." Then the young woman ran off and told her mother's household what had happened. Now Rebekah had a brother named Laban. Laban rushed outside to the man at the spring. When he saw the nose ring and the bracelets on his sister's arms, and when he heard Rebekah repeating what the man had said to her, he went to him while he was standing by the camels at the spring. He said, "Come, blessed of the Lord, why are you standing outside when I have made the house ready, as well as a place for the camels?" The man went inside, and while the camels were being unloaded and provided with straw and fodder, water was brought to bathe his feet and to bathe the feet of the men who were there with him. But when food was set before him, he said, "I will not eat until I have told my story." "Go ahead," they replied. "I am Abraham's servant," he began. "The Lord has blessed my master so abundantly that he has become wealthy. He has given him flocks and herds, silver and gold, male and female slaves, and camels and donkeys. My master's wife Sarah bore a son to my master in her old age, and he has given him everything he owns. My master put me under oath, saying, 'You shall not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites in whose land I live. Instead, you must go to my father's house, to my own family, to get a wife for my son.' When I asked my master, 'What if the woman will not follow me?' he replied, 'The Lord in whose presence I have always walked will send an angel with you and make your journey successful. And so you will get a wife for my son from my own family in my father's house. Then you'll be freed from my curse. If you go to my family and they refuse you, then too you will be free from my curse.' When I came to the spring today, I said, 'Lord, God of my master Abraham, please make successful the journey I am on. While I stand here at the spring, if I say to a young woman who comes out to draw water, 'Please give me a little water from your jug,' and she answers, 'Drink, and I will draw water for your camels too,' then she is the woman whom the Lord has decided upon for my master's son." I had scarcely finished saying this to myself when Rebekah came out with a jug on her shoulder. After she went down to the spring and drew water, and I said to her, "Please let me have a drink," she quickly lowered her jug she was carrying and said, "Drink, and I will water your camels too." So I drank, and she watered the camels also. When I asked her, "Whose daughter are you?" she answered, "The daughter of Bethuel, the son of Nahor, born to Nahor by Milcah." So I put the ring on her nose and the bracelets on her wrists. Then I knelt and bowed down to the Lord, blessing the Lord, the God of my master Abraham, who led me on the right road to obtain the daughter of my master's kinsman for his son. Now, if you will act with kindness and fidelity toward my master, let me know. But if not, let me know that too. I can then proceed accordingly." Laban and Bethuel said in reply, "This thing comes from the Lord. We can say nothing to you either for or against it. Here is Rebekah, right in front of you. Take her and go, that she may become the wife of your master's son, as the Lord has said." When Abraham's servant heard their answer, he bowed to the ground before the Lord. Then he brought out objects of silver and gold and clothing and presented them to Rebekah. He also gave costly presents to her brother and mother. After he and the men with him had eaten and drunk, they spent the night there. When they got up the next morning, he said, "Allow me to return to my master." Her brother and mother replied, "Let the young woman stay with us for a short while. Say 10 days. After that, she may go." But he said to them, "Do not detain me now that the Lord has made my journey successful. Let me go back to my master." They answered, "Let us call the young woman and see what she herself has to say about it." So they called Rebekah and asked her, "Will you go with this man?" She answered, "I will." At this, they sent off their sister Rebekah and her nurse with Abraham's servant and his men. They blessed Rebekah and said, "Sister, may you grow into thousands of myriads, and may your descendants gain possession of the gates of their enemies." Then Rebekah and her attendants started out. They mounted the camels and followed the man. So the servant took Rebekah and went on his way. Meanwhile, Isaac had gone from Bir Lahai and was living in the region of the Negev. One day toward evening, he went out for a walk in the field and caught sight of the camels approaching. Rebekah, too, caught sight of Isaac and got down from her camel. She asked the servant, "Who is the man over there walking through the fields towards us?" "That is my master," replied the servant. Then she took her veil and covered herself. The servant recounted to Isaac all the things he had done. Then Isaac brought Rebekah into the tent of his mother Sarah. He took Rebekah as his wife. Isaac loved her and found solace after the death of his mother. Abraham took another wife whose name was Keturah. She bore him Zimram, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. Jokshan became the father of Sheba and Dedan. The descendants of Dedan were Asherim and Letushim and Lumim. The descendants of Midian were Ephah, Epher, Henoch, Abida, and Eldah. All of these were the descendants of Keturah. Abraham gave everything that he owned to his son Isaac. To the sons of his concubines, however, he gave gifts while he was still living, as he sent them away eastward to the land of Kedem, away from his son Isaac. The whole span of Abraham's life was 175 years. Then he breathed his last, dying at the ripe old age, grown old after a full life, and he was gathered to his people. His son Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah, in the field of Ephron, son of Zohar the Hittite, which faces Mamre, the field that Abraham had bought from the Hittites. There he was buried next to his wife Sarah. After the death of Abraham, God blessed his son Isaac, who lived near Bir Lahai. These are the descendants of Abraham's son Ishmael, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's slave, bore to Abraham. These are the names of Ishmael's sons, listed in the order of their birth. Ishmael's firstborn: Nebaioth, Kedar, Abdeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Jatur, Nephish, and Kedema. These are the sons of Ishmael, their names by their villages and encampments, 12 chieftains, and as many tribal groups. The span of Ishmael's life was 137 years. After he'd breathed his last and died, he was gathered to his people. The Ishmaelites ranged from Havilah by Shur, which is on the border of Egypt, all the way to Ashur, and they pitched camp alongside their various kindred. These are the descendants of Isaac, son of Abraham. Abraham begot Isaac. Isaac was 40 years old when he married Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel the Aramean of Paddan Aram, and the sister of Laban the Aramean. Isaac entreated the Lord on behalf of his wife, since she was sterile. The Lord heard his entreaty, and his wife Rebekah became pregnant. But the children jostled each other in the womb so much that she exclaimed, "If it is like this, why go on living?" She went to consult the Lord, and the Lord answered her, "Two nations are in your womb. Two peoples are separating while still within you. But one will be stronger than the other, and the older will serve the younger." When the time of her delivery came, there were twins in her womb. The first to emerge was reddish, and his whole body was like a hairy mantle, so they named him Esau. Next, his brother came out, gripping Esau's heel, so he was named Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when they were born. When the boys grew up, Esau became a skillful hunter, a man of the open country, whereas Jacob was a simple man who stayed among the tents. Isaac preferred Esau because he was fond of game, but Rebekah preferred Jacob. Once when Jacob was cooking stew, Esau came in from the open country famished. He said to Jacob, "Let me gulp down some of that red stuff. I am famished." That is why he was called Edom. But Jacob replied, "First sell me your right as firstborn." "Look," said Esau, "I am on the point of dying. What good is the right as firstborn to me?" But Jacob said, "Swear to me first." So he sold Jacob his right as firstborn under oath. Jacob then gave him some bread and lentil stew. Esau ate, drank, got up, and went on his way. So Esau treated his right as firstborn with disdain. The book of Matthew, chapter 25, verses 1 to 30. Then the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 virgins who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were foolish, and 5 were wise. The foolish ones, when taking their lamps, brought no oil with them, but the wise brought flasks of oil with their lamps. Since the bridegroom was long delayed, they all became drowsy and fell asleep. At midnight there was a cry, "Behold, "The bridegroom! Come out and meet him!" Then all those virgins got up and trimmed their lamps. The foolish ones said to the wise, "Give us some of your oil, for our lamps are going out." But the wise ones replied, "No, for there may not be enough for us and for you. Go instead to the merchants and buy some for yourselves." While they went off to buy it, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready went into the wedding feast with him. Then the door was locked. Afterwards, the other virgins came and said, "Lord, Lord, open the door for us." But he said in reply, "Truly I say to you, I do not know you. Therefore stay awake, for you know neither the day nor the hour. It will be as when a man who was going on a journey called in his servants and entrusted his possessions to them. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to a third one 1, to each according to his ability. Then he went away. Immediately the one who received 5 talents went and traded with them, and he made another 5. Likewise, the one who received 2 made another 2. But the man who received 1 went off and dug a hole in the ground and buried his master's money. After a long time, the master of those servants came back and settled accounts with them. The one who had received 5 talents came forward, bringing the additional 5. He said, "Master, you gave me 5 talents. See, I have made 5 more." His master said to him, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. Since you were faithful in small matters, I will give you great responsibilities. Come, share your master's joy." Then the one who had received 2 talents also came forward and said, "Master, you gave me 2 talents. See, I have made 2 more." His master said to him, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. Since you are faithful in small matters, I will give you great responsibilities. Come, share your master's joy." Then the one who had received 1 talent came forward and said, "Master, I knew you were a demanding person, harvesting where you did not plant and gathering where you did not scatter. So out of fear, I went off and buried your talent in the ground. Here it is back." His master said to him in reply, "You wicked, lazy servant. So you knew that I harvest where I did not plant and gather where I did not scatter. Should you not have then put my money in the bank so that I could have got it back with interest on my return? Now then, take the talent from him and give it to the one with 10. For to everyone who has, more will be given, and he will grow rich. But from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. And throw this useless servant into the darkness outside, where there will be wailing and grinding of teeth." Thus ends the reading for today. Never walk alone.